Thank you so much. Very kind of you, Jennifer. Appreciate it. A quick note to the kind person who's managed to get the image up that I wanted. I can't control it, but you'll see an arrow on the right-hand side of that screen, and you might want to go through until you see some more pictures of what looks like Ocean Beach. If you can click on that. Thank you so much. I will now begin. There we go. Keep going. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just a little bit more. Well, anyhow, I'll let you do it. What I'd like to do today is again show that business writing does not have to be flat and dull, but I can make it lively, creative, and engaging. To do this, I'm about to read an article I recently wrote for the 2021 Year in Review report of the Dutra Group, a San Rafael company that does rock quarrying, seawall building, ocean and river dredging, and other heavy construction projects, both in the Bay Area and around the country. If you could keep moving to the next article, which is the one I'm going to be reading, keep going. Thank you so much. The article I'm about to read is about, I think it's on the next page. Nope, keep going, one more, I think. There we are. Yeah, we can leave it there. Thank you. The article I'm about to read is about Dutra's dredging of the ocean bottom and construction of a huge berm behind Ocean Beach, the long expanse of sand at San Francisco's shoreline south of the Golden Gate. It's one of 4 articles I wrote after doing interviews and research for the company's annual report. In addition to these articles, I also edited the text of all the other items in the report. Do dredging, construction, and annual reports sound kind of dull? You be the judge of how this article turned out. Here's what I wrote. It's titled Ocean Beach, Engineering in the Sand. When they were kids, Marshall Thompson and Eric Peterson loved to go to the beach and rearrange the sand with plastic buckets and shovels. Fast forward a few decades, and they were rearranging the sand again, or rather, carefully engineering it, this time directing a skilled Dutra Group team using bulldozers. How did project manager Thompson, quality control manager Peterson, and the roughly 4 members of the Dutra team find themselves reliving, sort of, a childhood pastime at Ocean Beach? This 3.5-mile strand appears to be a fine example of a place where an irresistible force meets an immovable object, but not quite. The force, ocean waves, relentlessly pummels San Francisco's Pacific shore, but the shoreline turns out to be not quite immovable. Blame it on 2 things, rising sea levels and the inexorable work of ocean currents and tides. As the saying goes, time and tide wait for no man, nor does climate change. Ocean Beach, popular with legions of San Francisco's and their cavorting canines, has been narrowing for years. Part of the shrinkage can be attributed to sea level rise, and part to the long-standing erosion caused by the area's heavy wave action and strong currents, which have been washing sand away for centuries. Some people believe that government often waits till the last moment to avert catastrophe. Fortunately, San Francisco did not have to wait for Ocean Beach to vanish before action got underway. Remarkable as this might seem, several factors came together to save the beach. One was alarm at the prospect of losing a popular recreation area and landmark. Still more powerful was the fear of how the loss of beach sand could endanger a piece of infrastructure critical to health and safety, the 14-foot wide Lake Merced tunnel that runs under the beach, carrying wastewater from the city's Oceanside Water Pollution Control Plant through a pipeline and discharging it miles out to sea. As quoted in the San Francisco Chronicle, a project manager and climate advisor at the San Francisco PUC said, "If that pipe gets exposed, it could crack. If it ruptures, we're spilling stormwater and sewage onto the beach." With these alarm bells loudly ringing, a raft of government agencies got involved. While Thompson, Peterson, and their Dutra teammates rolled up their sleeves to save the beach, no fewer than 15 city, state, and federal agencies got involved. As might be expected, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Dutra's client, played the key oversight role and shouldered 65% of the project's cost. The city's PUC picked up the balance. This project had more site visits from all these stakeholders, as well as congressmen and the mayor, in about a month and a half than I've ever seen on any project, said Thompson. Everyone wanted to come and look. Nothing like this had ever been done before, so it was a pretty big deal for the area. It was exciting. Even more exciting was the work itself. Unlike virtually every other beach project that Dutra has done over the years, this one did not involve widening the beach and extending it out into the ocean. Instead, the objective was to build a 28-foot high, 3,500-foot long berm behind the beach that would, among other things, protect the city's wastewater treatment plant and its effluent pipeline. This required dredging up to over 250,000 cubic yards of sand from nearly a mile out to sea, pumping it to shore, and bulldozing it into the Army Corps' required shape. To visualize 250,000 cubic yards, think of a football field piled nearly 50 yards high with sand. The major pieces of equipment that Dutra mobilized to build this monumental berm were one big ocean-going dredge, 4 bulldozers, an excavator and a loader, and a crew boat. The dredge, Dutra's 372-foot Stuyvesant, is equipped with 2 90-foot drag arms, one on each side of the vessel, whose 12 by 6-foot business ends sucked sand off the ocean bottom and pumped it a mile to shore, plus up to an additional 1,500 feet along the shore to the discharge point where the dozers took over building the berm. According to Thompson and Peterson, the project presented a number of challenges. Weather-generated swells that washed newly deposited sand off the beach, the sand's fineness, which made it more prone to washing away than the coarser, stickier material found at most beach projects, and a confined working space for shaping the steep-sloped berm, with a cliff at our backs and the ocean on the other side, as Peterson put it. Thompson's quick to share credit for the team's success with Site Superintendent Robbie Brunn and Foreman Jeremy Phillips, both of whom have worked on all Dutra Beach projects over the last decade and are the company's backbone when it comes to building beaches. Great troubleshooters and problem solvers, they also run a really tight ship. He says, they take safety personally and deserve credit for the perfect safety record of a project with a high-risk activity, multiple dozers working in confined, watery, sandy spaces. Ultimately, Thompson and Peterson report their byword at Ocean Beach was adapt and overcome. Everyone was just kind of spitballing, they said. What didn't work one day did work the next. They went at it persistently and just kept hammering. Thompson said, everyone coming onto the job, including us, thought it was a crazy idea and couldn't be done. The Army Corps had been working for years to get approvals for Ocean Beach, so it was certainly challenging. But when we finally got all the sand up on the beach, we felt pretty proud. It wasn't the biggest beach job we've ever done, but it had lots of moving parts. It definitely kept us going. A little tougher, one might say, than kids rearranging sand with buckets and shovels. Thank you. Any questions?
That was really fun, Howard. Any questions? We have about another minute for Howard's time.
I can also suggest that whoever is running the slideshow, if you flip to the right another page or two, you'll see some more photographs of the work.
Howard, I had a question.
Yeah.
Did you say that was untreated wastewater or treated wastewater that was being piped out a few miles in the ocean?
No, it came out of the plant, so it was treated to a certain extent, but I don't know how
Okay.
treated.
I see.
Yeah. Don't go any further. I think that's the last picture of the project.
Very cool. Very cool. Any other questions for Howard? All right.
If not, thank you so much for your attention. Hope you enjoyed it.
Great job. And you can stop sharing. Oh, you did, and stop recording, please.